Hi, this is Steffi. I've been gone for a week with my husband's surgery, but I'm back, and this is a video I recorded twice. It just didn't come out right. Wanted to do it over again. So I wanted to do a tutorial, not so much a tutorial, but show you the materials you need to do a beaded ornament. Now this is one of my stacked ornaments here, and you could do that with the materials I'm going to show you. But this is also to do, say, a candy cane, or if you wanted to do a stocking. It's a basic principle, just showing you the materials you need. And then I do have a basic ornament tutorial, and I do have a specific tutorial for the stack sequence. But if you're just starting out and you're unsure what to buy, even though I try to spell it out, I figured this would be a good jumping off point for people, just to get all the materials that they need. So I wanted to show you some of the materials you're going to need. And I like to use Chinette platters or plates. This is my first time using a platter, but I'll bring you over. Hold on, I'm going to talk while I walk over here. And I will show you my stack of plates, because I can tell you about it, but it's different if you actually see it. And this is years of use in these plates. I've been using these plates for years. These are all my unfinished projects right here. You'll see some of the ornaments I've done, my angels, my penguins, my squirrels, and some of these plates are decades old. And this is what they look like when they've been used for a while. I don't know if you can see, but they have a suede-like feel to them. They're very soft and worn, but I just keep it under a brand new one and I keep using it. But this is how I keep some of my ongoing projects. And there's one with all the mixed sequins for these stacked ornaments. So that's one thing. You don't have to put all your sequins away. And that can be very intimidating to look at a project where you get out a bunch of sequins that are all mixed up and then, oh no, now I got to put them away. I don't. And I'm going to show you a couple projects, a couple of things to buy that'll kind of take that pressure off of you. You're going to need a seed bead. These are from Hobby Lobby. They normally run $2.99. But if you get them on their half price sale, which appears to me to be most of the time, or at least half the month, or the very least a week a month, you can get them for $1.50. Now, if you absolutely have to get some before then, use your 40% off coupon and you'll still save, what's that, $1.20 on them. But they're on half price quite a bit, and you've got dozens and dozens of colors. And then they do sell a bigger tube. Now these are 11/0, which is my preference. That is the size of the bead. They sell a 12/0, which is slightly bigger, in a bigger tube for a lot cheaper. It's like $3.99, and with the discount it's $2.99, and it's a lot of beads. They're not as good a quality as these, but if you're just getting started, it really doesn't matter. And then this is one I got, I think, at Walmart years ago. I'm not sure if they still sell their seed beads. Still not as good a quality. These are really, the ones from Hobby Lobby are very good quality. Kind of adjust my camera down just a little bit so you can see what I'm doing better. So, what I wanted to show you, and then, okay, then we have beading needles. A lot of people ask me, what about the beading needles? Well, the thing about beading needles is I will show you the difference between, if I can find them, I don't know if they got put back in here. I had a big old thing of sewing needles. I don't think they did. Well, I can't show you. Beading needles and sewing needles are different for a lot of reasons. And the main reason is when you open up a package of beading needles, you will see how thin they are. I don't know if the camera's capturing that, but they are extremely thin. And that is so that they will fit through the seed. Here, I'll throw a couple down on the tray for you there. They are very thin so that they'll fit through the seed beads. Now, the really thin ones like these are perfect when you're doing some kind of beaded Indian beadwork, like loomed beadwork, or the beaded seed bead earrings, like the fringed earrings. That's what they're especially good for, because they're so thin you can very easily go back through. This one doesn't want to shut. It doesn't very easily go back through the bead more than once with the same thread. But Lance needles, you get 25. This is Walco brand, and this was 6 large eye. Let's look at the difference in these. Some of these I've had. Oh, they went flying. These might be my new favorite, actually. These are real nice big eyes on these. And they're a little bit heavier, but you got to be careful because you want them to fit through, and if you have an especially tiny seed bead, then they may not. But these are actually a very good one. They're called, and there's some mixed up pieces in there, I don't know. These are called Walco brand, but the one I usually buy is John James. I get, I believe, 25 needles. I want to say $6 or $7, and I very rarely break a needle. In all the years I've been doing beadwork, I have only broken a couple of needles, so it's not something like you break them all the time. Especially doing ornaments. You're just going through the felt. It's soft, it's gentle, not a problem. Beading thread is another thing, and there's 2 kinds of thread you can buy. There is these bigger spools like this and these small spools. Now, I want to show you real quick what I saw at Michael's, if I can pull up the picture while we're talking here. When I went to Michael's, I wanted to see if they sold beading thread, because I have had a hard time finding it, and they do not have it at Hobby Lobby. But they did have it at Michael's, but it wasn't, I can't find it on my pictures, but let me explain what they had. They had these little spools like this, and they're a size D, and they had 4 in a package. I think they had like all white, or they had a couple multicolor packs, and they were, I believe, $12.99. Then for a couple dollars more, they had 2 black and 2 white, but they were bigger. They were probably more along the lines of these bigger spools, and they were a little more. But the thing about Michael's is they always have a 50% off coupon. So the per spool price is about accurate for what they are online. Now, I got these for about $1 a spool, because at the time they had 3 big tubes. And I think, let me find an unused one for you. I think that's an unused one. But they had a spool with all the different colors in it. It had blues. Let me show you some of the colors. It had blues and greens and browns and tans. It had a little bit of everything in it. I got 36 spools, some duplicates, for, I believe it was 36, but it's now 39. And I believe they're called D-Lon. But if you put in beading thread, you'll see these tubes come up. Now, you can buy a 12-pack for about $15, I believe, and I believe that's with free shipping. But I wanted all the colors, so I paid for the whole thing. And I've been using them about 3 years. I haven't made a dent. I have a ton of thread. But you can just go to Michael's and get the black and white, or even just the 4 spools of white, and with the coupon they'd be like $6, or the 2 black, 2 white bigger spools, and those would be about $7.50 for big spools. So those are a couple of the options you have. Now you're going to want scissors, and you have all kinds of options. These are just typical in the sewing department. They come with a little cover, sewing scissors. Then these are like in the beading, I think, area, or the sewing area too. A little bit bigger, a little bit larger hole for your fingers, but if you're cutting out felt, this can hurt you after a while. These are precision scissors. They're my preference. I bought these on Amazon. I like the big holes. I can cut, and they never hurt my hands. These are kind of a mess right now. And then you're going to need, oh, and by the way, on the thread, if you notice these in the background, once you've been doing it for a while and you know you're going to be doing this, you can get your cheaper threads. Like, I have this spool here that I bought 25 years ago. That's still got a lot of thread on it. I've got years left in this. This is a size O. And then I bought another one in a size OO by mistake. I meant to buy D. Well, yesterday I ordered the D, so I'll have a, this is good for the earrings. Perfect for the earrings, but you can use it for anything. And I've been adding some colors. I've got a blue. Be careful when you order. This said turquoise, and it looked like turquoise in the picture. this is not turquoise. This is like a medium blue. I was kind of disappointed. This is pretty close to what they said. I forgot the name they called it. Catalia. It looked purple. It's like a purple pink, which is great. I've also got a Christmas green and a Christmas red in these big spools. I'm trying to buy one per month, and I've got a couple sizes of black, a couple sizes of white, 4 colors, and then every month I'm going to keep adding. They do have, I think the only colors you can't get it in is yellow and orange, but they have a lot of the other colors. So the next one I'm going to get is like a neutral, like a brown or a tan. So once you have all your threads, you need felt. Now this is Hobby Lobby, just 33 cents a square. They are 1 millimeter thick, 9 by 12. Everybody sells these particular styles of felt. The 1 millimeter, they can run on sale for as low as $0.25. They usually run between 33 and 50 cents in all different colors. I only grabbed a couple colors out, but you can get them in, you know, of course, all your Christmas colors, reds and whites and greens and blues, purple, pink, yellows, oranges, everything you need. So for, you figure you can get 10 pieces for $3.30. And if you have a Michaels coupon, you can get 50% off of one, which doesn't really gain you anything. So they do have some multi-packs, though, and you could buy one of those and then use your 50%. But felt is so cheap. So you figure you spend a few bucks on felt, $3.30, you can get 10 pieces of felt. Buy your basic, like a clear and maybe a white, for $3 on half price. And then your sequins. Now, sequins can be pricey or cheap, depending on your outlook. I tend to buy most of mine now from Cartwright. Now let me tell you, Cartwright doesn't know I exist except as a customer. Believe me, if I got a kickback from telling you to go to them, I would tell you. But I'm not even giving you really a link that you can click on. I usually do put it in my comments, but it's just CC, 2 C's for Cartwright.com. And they have every color. When I found them, I was in heaven because I only had the basic colors. Now I have literally thousands of sequins because I've been buying from them for like 12 years. You need sequins, but here's the deal. You can start out inexpensively. Look at this bag I got at Michaels. This was, I believe, $3.99. With the coupon, you could get it for $2. And it's got all your sizes. Look at this. You could do one of these ornaments with the different sizes you have. You've got a 6 millimeter. Now, the only thing it doesn't have is a little tiny. But you've got a 6 millimeter and like an 8 millimeter and a 10 millimeter, a 12 millimeter, all these different Christmas colors. And then you got your purples and pinks, or at least purpley pink, which gives you a little extra. But silver and gold and red and green, a little bit of bluish, kind of silvery blue. Everything, and I'm going to tell you, if I was to pour this out, it's a lot. But let's say you're not happy with that. You want to try something else. Well, they do have individual bags at Michaels. And let me show you a couple of those bags. I have 2 of them here to show you. And these run $2 a piece. And what are great about these is you can pick up a few colors, and it comes in 3 different sizes. I'm going to use the colored ones to show you. Clear too hard. But in this package, you get a package of 5 millimeter, a package of 8 millimeter, and a package of 10 millimeter. And I've got one in clear as well. And they have a lot of different colors in these little packages. And if you use a coupon, and especially if you have a couple friends that'll each buy you a package with the coupon, that's how I do it. I take my husband or my friend, and I get an extra thing for 50% off. But if you live near a Michaels, you can go every day and pick up one, and in a week or 2, you'll have every color. Now, they also sell the little flowers that I tend to use in my ornaments often, but the only ones they have are silver and blue. But I bet you if you keep an eye out, they may come up with other ones. And then here's the big daddy right here. Now, this one is nice because it also has flowers in it. It's got these flat flowers. I don't know if you can see that. Flat flowers there. There's a pink one. But it has this vintage style. Let me see if I can show you. Yeah, right there. The vintage style. They've got a bunch of them in there. Right there. See that? They've got red. They've got green. They've got pink, silver. This thing is stuffed full of all the different sizes again. Same thing as in the other bag. This one is 8 ounces and this one is 4 ounces. So this is twice as many as this. This one I believe was around $14, but I got it for 50% off. I think I paid $7, it might have been 15. I think I paid $7.50. Now Hobby Lobby had a box like this at one time, and they might have just been out, but they had, I think they had the basic one, no flowers, and I think it was 10. But this one had the flowers. They also had one that was just shapes, and I think that one was about the same price. But if you got this and the one with all the different shapes in it, then you'd have a nice selection. But that's all you need. And then on top of that, if you want to do some kind of design, dig through your cookie cutter jars or drawers, or just pick up a couple. These were $2 at Tuesday morning. I got this on Amazon for like $8, and it gave me a nice selection. They sell a lot of great sets on Amazon. But go to any, I mean pretty much any antique store, and you will find a bucket of cookie cutters for about $1 each, as cheap as 50 cents, as big as $3 for the vintage ones. But I routinely find them for 50 cents to $1.50 each, and I've got a huge collection of cookie cutters now. And I buy them from Amazon, I buy them at yard sales, thrift stores. They're a very inexpensive resource, but if you don't want to spend money on cookie cutters, then you can take cardboard and trace out designs. Borrow a couple cookie cutters from a friend and trace around them on cardboard. But you can ask around, and you might be surprised how many cookie cutters you can get your hands on, even if it's to borrow. And one of my dear friends, V. Wills from V. Wills Design, and she does have a YouTube channel, she said you could take those folders that you buy for school, like we used to call them peachy folders, that shows my age, but you open it up and it has the 2 pockets. They have them in plastic, and we've got school supplies coming up any minute, and those go real cheap, 10, 25 cents, and they make great stencils, because you can buy the stencil material, and it's not that expensive, but those binders are cheap, or those notebooks are cheaper, or those folders are cheaper. And you can cut them apart and use a smaller pocket part for smallers, and then the big ones for bigger. You can trace any design. You can print out pictures offline, cut them out, trace them onto the folder or the stencil or cardboard, and cut them out. So once you get your pattern, then you're just going to either take an ink pad, which I like to take an ink pad, and a cookie cutter. Now if you're going to trace it, obviously you're going to use a pen or pencil and trace it onto the felt. Then you cut it out, and then you've got all your materials to create your ornament. So, you know, you can do everything from these stack sequins to a classic candy cane. And I do sell this kit in my Etsy shop. Right now my Etsy shop's closed, but I will be opening it up in the next week. My husband had back surgery a week ago today, and I'm just getting back in my studio for the first time. But you can start with something basic like a stocking that you could do any color foot, and then you could do any color up here. I just did classic red and white. And then I've got angels. A lot of people have angel cookie cutters, and I just did gold on the front, and I already had this made up, so I just decided to use it with the pink. So real easy. It doesn't cost a ton to get started. You figure if you get the beading needles will be your priciest thing, but it's hard to find a sewing needle that'll fit through the bead. So unless you have a tiny, tiny sewing needle, and I think at Hobby Lobby you pay $3 or $4 for a couple. But again, you could use your coupon. And I didn't price them at Michael's. But your needles are most expensive, but if you buy a package on Amazon for $6 or something, you get 25. They will last you years and years and years. Just get a little box, and it can be something small. Just even a little plastic box like this. Just something that you can store your supplies in. You can buy the little divided boxes, all kinds of things. But have something to store your supplies in to keep them safe. Pick out what kind of thread you want to use, whether you want to get online and buy a big spool or a bunch of little spools, or just go to Michael's. But I would say you could get started and have everything you need for about 20 bucks. The needles, some felt, some thread, some seed beads, and if you bought one of these multi-packs of sequins, for probably about $20, maybe a little more, maybe a little less, depending on the deals you find. You could get started and make quite a few items out of that $20. And that's what I like about these ornaments is one piece of felt will make several, I mean quite a few. Look at the size of the felt versus the size of, you need 2 pieces for each one, but just the sheer volume of, you can get a lot of these little felt cutouts from one sheet of felt. So for 33 cents you can make probably 3 or 4 ornaments easy. And sometimes I'll use a different color for the back and use the specialty color for the front. If the front's going to be completely covered, you want to use one that matches the majority of the ornament of the sequins. If this was red, because I had red, a little bit of red shows through on top, but not bad. This one, if you're going to have the felt showing, then you need a color that will go well with all of your sequins that you put on there. And on here I did put a few bugle beads and some shape sequins. But this can be done with just the round sequins. So, I hope that was helpful. This is not a tutorial. This was just to tell you some of the things you need to get started. There's all kinds of specialty things. You can buy all kinds of specialty sequins. I go to Cartwright's and I buy a lot of their, and I've done a few videos on their flowers. And they're little tiny flowers. And just, you know, all kinds of, I buy these flowers. They're squares. So there's lots of things you can buy there. But you can also go to the craft stores. They do have stars and hearts and leaves and sometimes other ones at Michael's and Hobby Lobby. They're routinely $2 or $3 a bag, but if you have a coupon, you can get them cheaper. And keep your eyes opened at yard sales and thrift stores. There will be sometimes some sets you can find or bags of beads and sequins. Get to know the people that run the estate sales and let them know what you're looking for. Maybe they'll let you know when they have a yard sale or an estate sale when they're going to be selling those type of products. So there's lots of things you can do. And when I started this 30 years ago, I literally just had one small 20 compartment box with mainly metallic sequins because that's all I could find. And then one little, I had some that were a clear iridescent. I think I have a bag of them over here. Yeah, these are what I started out with. And I did most of my ornaments with these. They're iridescent, so whatever color felt I put them on, it kind of showed through the beads, or the sequins. So it's a lot of fun. You can do a lot with what you have. Just start small. Make sure you love doing this. And once you do, then you can start really investing. And then that's when you can go to Michael's, Cartwright's, and maybe buy some of their big bags when they're on clearance. This was on clearance. I think I paid $6.50 for it. That's when you can do that kind of thing. I've been doing this well over 30 years. Well, right about 30 years. Our son's going to be 30. And I think I started right around the time he was a little baby. And I have a lot of sequins and a lot of beads, but I've been doing this a very long time. When I started out, I had very, very little. So I didn't have all these beautiful colored threads. I had white. Then I was excited when I could get the black thread. Now I can get any color thread I want, and it's very exciting. So, but you don't have to invest a lot to make some really beautiful things. But get the right supplies. I urge you to get beading thread and beading needles, if nothing else, because the investment in those is worth it, because the thread is hard to break. I think you would cut yourself if you tried to break this with your hands. Some people use upholstery thread, but it can be a little thick, but it's also very hardy. But you just need, I use a D, size D beading thread. Some of these are smaller. They're an O or an OO, and that's okay. But most of what I have is a D. See, it says turquoise. That's not turquoise. And then this original one, I did most of my ornaments starting out with a 3-ounce spool of Zero Nemo. Nemo is the brand. And I did most of my stuff for years with the Zero. So, but D is pretty easy to find. And Amazon is actually where I buy most of my thread now, whether it be the little spools or the big ones. But just have fun with it. Start small. Get the smallest supplies you can and try it out. Get the more neutral, like get the clear sequins, and maybe like get your Christmas colors, like maybe a red, a green, a gold, a silver, a white. Then you could add a blue, you could add a yellow, and just slowly add. Now, if you can get these bags that start you out with a bunch of those basic colors, all you need to pick up are the little bit smaller, because if you look at mine, I have a lot of 5mm too, and I think even some 3 and 4mm. But you don't need those to start out. You can just start out with your 5 and 6s. And I think on here, I don't know if I have any of those, but I could use this bag very easily. And then this one, a little bit more selection, but the same basic sizes. And they've got some light pink in here too. And lots of flowers in different sizes. So anyway, I hope this was interesting. I hope you learned something, and I hope it was helpful. But, you know, just start with your basics, and gradually you can add your colors. I budget myself in 1 spool a month, and I kind of let it go a couple months. But 1 spool a month of the big thread for me. But for you, it could be you budget in 1 new color of seed bead, a couple pieces of felt, and maybe 1 new package of sequins, which, you know, if you get them on sale, it's like $5 or less a month. You could build quite a collection over a very short amount of time. So anyway, I will be back soon. I'm working on a really fun project. My husband's been recovering for a week now. We're home. We've been home since Tuesday. I just couldn't get in here. He still needed my help, but now he's much more independent. I'm going to be able to get in my studio every day, so I'll upload this today, and then I'm going to be working on the next ornament, and as soon as it's done, I will be sharing that with you. So I thank you so much for being patient while I was gone. I really appreciated all your prayers and support. He came through it with flying colors, and I can't believe that your support did not help. I'm sure I'm a big believer in prayer and positive thoughts, and I really was touched by all of your concerns and helpful suggestions and your own stories. So I do appreciate that. And I want to thank all my new subscribers. I forget to do that sometimes, but I'm so grateful that you're here. And I'm always grateful every time I see that I have a new subscriber. I love doing this, and one of my earliest subscribers has become a good friend of mine, and she's now teaching other people how to do these ornaments, and that made my day. So I just love to teach something that can maybe be something you do to make gifts, or just a creative outlet in a small space, because you don't need much room to. You can have quite a few sequins, seed beads, and felt in a small tote. I mean, a 20-gallon tote, which is a basic tote, but you get at Walmart. You could have so much stuff in a 20-gallon tote. And buy the Chinette plates. They don't have to be Chinette brand. They're easy, in these little platters. I got these at a yard sale for $2 for a package of them. I didn't want to eat off of them since they were open, but they're perfect for this. I think I paid 50 cents. No. Somewhere between 50 cents and $2. I don't think I paid $2. No. I didn't pay $2. It was like probably 50 or 75 cents. And I got a pretty good stack of them too. Probably about, I'm looking at it now, it's a stack of like that. And I like the platters because they're a little bit bigger. So you don't have to buy trays, but you can use old cookie sheets too. Old cookie sheets are what I normally use, but since I'm working in my family room and I need a small area, old cookie sheets, people sell them for $0.25, 50 cents, $1. And then just put a piece of felt down, or for $1 a mat. You can go to Hobby Lobby and see these little mats here. See if I can show you that. These here come 3 for $3. Use your coupon, then you get 40% off of that. And these are perfect because they don't catch on your needle. They hold the seed beads in place, so they're easy to pick up. Felt works, but it does catch. That's another thing I forgot to tell you. Get the beading mats. They're really wonderful, but you don't need them. The Chinette plates work great, and over time, they get such a wonderful patina to them. So anyway, I'm so happy to be back. I'm hoping I can get this edited. I tried to make this video before we went away for the week, but I made it and edited it twice and it just was awful. So this is the third attempt, hopefully 3 times the charm, if I can talk right. So thank you so much, and I will be back very soon with another ornament, and then we'll also discuss in a future video all the things that I still am supposed to be doing, some projects we've discussed in the past, and we'll come up with a timeline for those. But thank you so much, and I'll be back soon. Bye.